Happy Hour. That's the Good Things. I'm your host, Rebecca Turner. Don't forget, you can listen to Good Things. We are streaming live over at SuperTalk.fm. We're also streaming from the SuperTalk Mississippi app. And, of course, you can always find us, too, on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. And don't forget to watch us. We are on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. And we talked to you earlier this week about voting for our Fave Chef or a Fave Chef out of Starkville, Mississippi. She's joining us today to tell us a little bit more, Miss Alex Watson. Hey, Alex.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing well, and I love that you're up for Fave Chef and that you're out of Starkville and that maybe we can rally behind you and help you see it to the finish line. So let's start with how this all got started. How did you wind up on Carla Hall's 2024 Fave Chef list?
I actually just came across a post on Instagram and said, that looks interesting. Let me see what this is about. Clicked on it. Got a profile. You had to upload some pictures of food that you had cooked, and I just gave it a shot, sent it in, waited to see what happened. Next thing I know, I got an email saying that, I was part of the competition.
So what'd you cook? What'd you cook and send in, Alex?
So I had several things that I had posted. So I cook all the time. I had posted some shrimp and grits, some gumbo, a chocolate roll, which is like my mother's signature dessert that she used to make, some bread, just a bunch of different dishes that I have made just over the course of probably the last year or so.
So do you cook full-time, or is this something like a passion hobby or something you do on the side, or is this your full-time gig being a chef?
So it is not a full-time gig. So I actually work at SAFE, which is the domestic violence shelter. And about not quite a year ago, the cook that worked here retired. She'd been here over 20 years. So they were trying to figure out if they were going to hire somebody else. They were kind of playing with that job position and what they wanted to do. And in the meantime, I just started cooking lunch. And I've sort of just moved into that. I still have another job that I perform also, but most days I get to cook lunch for the clients and for the staff.
So who taught you how to cook, Alex? Because not everybody just signs up for, hey, I will fill in and cook lunch. I know that wouldn't be what I would jump in to do.
So my mother was a phenomenal cook. I come from an extremely large family. I am the youngest, and I would sit and watch her cook in the kitchen. She cooked for our church, and I would just love to be in the kitchen when she was in there watching her. She was one of these people that she could go anywhere. If you had ingredients in your refrigerator, she could make you a meal out of it. I always laugh and say that growing up, we often had meals only once because she couldn't remember exactly what she did. And they'd be great, but it was just, I had a little bit of this and a little of that. I'm not quite as good as she is or she was. I tend to, look at recipes, and then I may look at 2 or 3 recipes for the same thing and then kind of pull from that and then throw in my own little twist on it.
Well, I think anyone who can either make meals without recipes or who feel confident enough to maybe switch it up a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and not panic or have anxiety over it, then you're on a next level chef, because I followed the directions, Alex, to a T. And then I blame it on the recipe if it doesn't turn out good, not on me. So that's the kind of chef I am.
Right. I mean, I just sort of, like I said, I'll look at a recipe and then I'll ad-lib, what goes, what flavors kind of go with things. Of course, you can always add cheese because that seems to make everything better.
Amen.
But just try and put my own little spin on it.
Well, let's talk about the Fave Chef contest. So how does it work? I know you need our votes, and I know you've only got like 7 days and some odd hours. There's a whole countdown over there left to vote. So how does this work?
Okay, so the first round of voting has begun. It went live at 3 o'clock our time on Monday. You can vote once a day or once every 24 hours. They are very specific about the time. But you can go on to the link, and I have my own personalized link that people can go to, and they can vote. It is done through Facebook, so you have to have a Facebook profile to vote. But the first round of voting will end on Thursday, the 30th. And then if I make it to if I finish in the top of this first round of voting, then I'll move on to the next round, and it just slowly dwindles down until we get to the final, and then the person at the end gets the title of favorite chef with Carl Hall. There's also another aspect of it. If you do not win the grand prize, you could be Carla's pick. She makes that decision just based on, I guess, what she sees on the profiles and the food. So there is that second chance, but we're hoping for the grand prize.
I like that you keep saying we, because I feel like it's a group effort, right? When something like this happens, it takes everybody.
You don't cook for yourself. You cook for others. And so, everybody that I cook for, everybody that has ever eaten anything that I've made, they're all part of this.
They're all part of it to get you to that next level, to ultimately get you to the grand prize, which I know, obviously, you'll hopefully get a plaque or some kind of medal, but you also get some cash, which isn't a bad thing either. So I see that the winner for FavChef ends up with $25,000. Have you thought through, Alex, what you would do with that money if you won it?
So actually, yes. So I would like to use part of my money to make some improvements to my kitchen at work. Of course, we're a nonprofit. We're grant funded. So, there are a few things that I would like to improve in my kitchen so that I can cook for our clients and just make them feel at home while they're with us. Obviously, these are clients who are escaping a domestic violence situation or a sexual assault situation. They're coming to us in time of crisis, so we want to make them feel at home, comfortable, and what makes you feel at home better than a home-cooked meal?
And knowing that someone cares enough not to just give you something, prepackaged or frozen, it's the love that comes from knowing someone's in the kitchen, putting that together to sit around and I guess obviously have that same kind of conversation and fellowship at a time when you need it the most. I can't think of a better way to sort of spin your winnings when you win it, right, Alex? Because this is good things. We're putting positive vibes into the future. I have to ask though, what's your favorite thing to make? Even though you're not necessarily a full-time chef, you obviously have your hand in making a lot of different things. What is Alex's signature go-to meal?
So I am from the coast of Mississippi originally. Grew up, I have a lot of family in New Orleans. So seafood is always my go-to. I love jambalaya and I love gumbo. Both of those I have really good recipes for, and they're probably my favorites. My jambalaya recipe I absolutely love. I got it from actually my cousin's mother-in-law, and she lives in New Orleans. It's a great recipe. It's every time I've ever made it, it's been a crowd pleaser. So that's one of my absolute favorites. As
we move into the holiday weekend, Memorial Day just around the corner, everybody's going to start making their great summer recipes, Alex. So like during the summer, what are you bringing out most? Is it like pasta salads? Are you doing more like barbecuing or grilling? What's kind of on your agenda for the summer?
So I love to grill. We have a program that we work with Dollar Generals and Walmart where they actually donate food to us. So I've got several racks of ribs in my freezer now that I plan to pull out for Monday. I'm going to work on Monday, so that's on my meal. One of my favorite summertime go-to desserts is fruit pizza, where the sugar cookie crust, the cream cheese sauce, so to speak, and then fresh seasonal fruit. It's always good. It's nice and refreshing. So that's always a fun summertime dessert to make that. And then watermelon with feta and mint. That's another one that's really good. It's really refreshing. The feta gives it a nice little, twinge that you can get from that cheese and mixes very well with the refreshingness of the watermelon.
I'll take it all. Okay, I'll take all of it. Also, and take the opportunity to vote for you as well, because that's what we want you to end up getting FavChef this year, so you can get that $25,000 to pour back into your shelter. Remind us the name of the domestic violence shelter that you work at.
So it's called SAFE. It's Shelter and Assistance in Family Emergencies. We are a 19-bed facility. We take men, women. If a client has children, they can come also. And we just, like I said, help them escape those situations that when they're in those crisis situations and trying to get away. That's what we're here for.
Well, we're going to post your link, Alex, into the Good Things Facebook group. Encourage anybody who feels led to go and vote so that you can get that cash to pour it back into something good here in Mississippi. And best of luck to you. We'll keep up with you.
And remember, you can vote every day. Every day.
Every day. All right, stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.